Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Civilization 6, and I'm back building another episode. We had just nuked Cairo with our nuclear powers. Now the problem is that the nuclear silos are pretty much out of range of all the other Arabian places, so I honestly just need to go and build more nuclear silos, I guess. And I think, oh no, what I can do is I can actually use a plane and drop it that way instead of shooting it off straight like that. But we are also, I don't care about what's going on right now, building an Earth satellite. And so we are like 2 or 3 episodes away from being done with this game. Like, not even kidding you. Honestly, at this point, it's just how amazing and badass can we make our nation. That's what we're doing right now. Making our nation amazing. So at this point, I could build a nuclear submarine, and I believe, yeah, the nuclear submarine, if I wanted to, I could drop nukes. But I'm tired of having people not do things, or I'm tired of micromanaging my civilization. So I'm just going to set except for Moscow, I'm going to set every single place to building nuclear devices, because we need to kill people with the nuclear devices, which I will be then taking this. Can I purchase anything with faith? I can build naturals. Why not? But hold on, let me see. I'm gonna purchase a military engineer and build my nuclear silos closer to the place. Oh no. What do you call it? Oh, Arabia. So that we can just nuke them more, I guess. I don't know. That's what we do. Just kinda waltz right into Cairo here and just go ahead and keep the city, which is Arabia's capital. And look at them, they actually have cannons. That's not good. That means they're harder to kill than other people. So here's what the naturalists can do, is they can go up to squares. So let's say this square right here. It's far away from everywhere else, and they can designate this as a national park, right? So look, designate this. So then they take this area, which that's a national park. I don't know why this area is a national park, just because it is. And so now this is a national park. You're not allowed to do anything to it whatsoever, but it starts to generate tourism more. So if you want to go for a cultural related victory, which is what I am not doing, you can do that with national parks and archaeology, which archaeology can get kind of crazy as well. This is, ladies and gentlemen, warfare of the future. You know, frickin' bird things. Look at how futuristic this warfare is. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the pinnacle of human success in taking humans, lifting them off of the ground, sending them into the sky, and doing things. This is pinnacle human success. This is a turning point in warfare. Fast-paced action that no other nation can compete with me with. Just, it's outstandingly boring to watch these bomber planes just no. Oh, look at me. I'm a bomber plane. No. That's literally most of my time when I'm in the modern era, when I'm using planes, is just no. That's all it is, really. And well, I mean, like, it's worth it though. We captured a city from Arabia. Well, and so that's why, if you guys see, I have a military engineer somewhere. I don't know where he went. Oh, he's right here. And he's going to build nuclear silos up here. Because then that's like a project of working on capturing Arabia's places up there. while I capture their places over here. Ooh, they have some silver. Alright, the Earth satellite should be... Oh, there's... These guys... I don't know why Valeda decided to attack me. I think it's because they were allies with Arabia, but they did. But... They have wacky tobacco, so I kind of want that. But do we get to watch the nuke, or the Earth spaceship go into space? Do we get to watch the Earth spaceship go to space, eh? Oh, whoa, that thing looks ready to launch. Here we go. That actually looks more like the Apollo mission, to be honest. Skadoosh! This cinematic is just so hilariously just like... Alright, here we go. A small satellite in orbit reveals everything.
Do not change direction.
I don't care about guidance systems. I don't care about social media. Guys, look at the map in the bottom left of your screens. Here we can see the entire world. Just... available for us to look at. Let's take a tour around the world. Here's, yeah, Manchester, Liverpool. So here's the other nations. You know, just sitting kind of here. Glad I don't have to explore this, but an interesting concept that has been revealed to me is so lots of times, you know, everyone would talk about kind of in the old, not old days, but kind of like the 50s, kind of around when Teddy Roosevelt was president of the United States of America. They talk about conserving Earth's land, okay? Now, in 1962, there's a book written that is considered when, like, the turning point, but it kind of wasn't really. What happened was we sent the Apollo mission into space, and we got a picture of Earth. And this was a picture of Earth that people had seen without continental borders. Without any labelings, without, you know, the colored countries, you know, America, Mexico, Canada, all the European countries, Africa, stuff like that. They hadn't seen that. They just saw Earth as a planet, and they realized they needed to keep it that way. And then they started caring for the environment a lot. So, the lesson we learned from that is, yeah, going to space to the moon was cool, right? Lots of people would think that was arbitrary, but what going to the moon did was we took those pictures and then we made people think about truly taking care of Earth. Even though, like, going to the moon doesn't seem like it's related to taking care of the Earth, it really kind of was. So that's just a little interesting thing that I just thought was kind of interesting. Also, futuristic warfare! Look at the futuristicness of it! This doesn't look like a bomber jet, it looks more just like a passenger jet. But anyway, futuristic warfare. So now, Kyoto has to build, ironically enough, like I didn't plan this out, the moon landing. The moon landing. So, I mean, there's that. Building the moon landing, guys. Phase 2 of winning by space. It's actually kind of cool that I can do this and it expands the national park. So that little national park we had that's here is now, look at how big this national park is. It's actually going all Teddy Roosevelt. I always thought it was kind of cool how in this game, even though, unless you really need to compete fast with culture, national parks don't matter. It's still really cool to see, like, oh, I'm building a national park. And, you know, I'm taking care of the land. Like, it's cool to see, like, okay, I have the national power in this game to take this chunk of land and that I don't need at all, because I don't need the tundra at all. And even if you go over to my nations over here, like, look at all this land that I'm not using. Like, look at this land. It's like this land that I don't need and that I don't want to spend the time to use, ironically enough, I can put into a national park. And that's a national park, and we gotta take care of it. And I just thought this is kind of a cool feature that it makes you feel good about building national parks. It makes you want to build more national parks, because then it takes care of, it's like, I'm taking care of my land that I own. I'm not, even though there's no consequences, I'm still like not developing it. Even though I'm not developing it, I'm still taking care of it. And the game, that's like the best way to get tourism, and the game promotes you building national parks. War of the future, ladies and gentlemen. War of the future. I mean, to be honest though, it did actually kind of help, because then my units, I didn't have to stack them up. I could just use one unit and take over the city. So I mean, I guess that's a plus. It's kind of cool. I could plant woods. There was a in Civilization 2, so this was made in like 2001, 1999, something like that. Very early on, before any video game was 3D, like, you could use MS Paint and reskin everything. So there was an ability that you could give the builders, which they had settlers, and settlers were also builders, so you just kind of like, they all had the same job, settlers, builders, you know, whatever. But one of the things that eventually they weren't called builders, you could build engineers. And that was also the settlers. So the settlers were engineers. And what the engineers could do is take a tile. So like, let's say this tile right here, and do an experiment and transform it into just some other kind of random tile. Like sometimes it would go from plains to mountains, or mountains to a desert, you know? You just do some kind of experiment. It was really, really weird, but also kind of cool at the same time. And also, the settlers and builders didn't have a limited number of build points. They just built as many things as you wanted them to build, and then sent them off and built the city. Technology. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, Arabia is getting beat out, because I took their nation over really, really fast. Just think, 2 episodes ago, I had barely control on this next continent. Now, I basically own half the cities on it. Basically. Like, obviously Rome's a pretty big nation, so are the Vikings as well as England, but I'm not too worried about those Europeans. Those are actually, that's kind of ironic that only the Europeans remain. Wait. There was Spain. Spain was part of the Europeans.
There is nothing like a dream.
I'm surprised that the Americans were not in this game. Actually, now that I think about it, I've never fought the Americans. Nope, I've never, ever fought the Americans. So, I don't know, the game just knows. They're like, oh, you're an American, you're gonna cry if you frickin' kill your people. America, Donald Trump. You know, that's, the game's doing that. Mecca is obviously pretty easy to get now. And I also did the whole nuke on Barqua. So, they should be in relatively bad shape by now. So, I think I'm gonna go ahead and put you right there, mate. And there, bam, keeping the city. But I just noticed that, like, Europeans remain. That was kind of weird. Osaka has built a spaceport, and I'm actually going to have them. Osaka's just going to build a builder, because next turn we got the moon landing, which basically takes your culture and gives you like 8 times that much in science. The problem with that, obviously, by the way, we never got into spies. Spies just kind of do stuff to mess around with the enemy. Just kind of like fuck everything up that they're trying to do. But we never actually got into the whole spy business, which is not the best. It's kind of just like, oh, I'm gonna have you do this style of espionage to this person that I decided to put you in. Like, if you're in the lead like I am, spies are kind of like, do I need to do the spies, right? It's like, do I need to deal with the hassle of training up spies, getting spies experience so they can do more things? It's going to take Mecha 300 turns to build a nuke. I mean, they are basically a village in a jungle, but I think it takes them a little less. Maybe import some of that uranium. I don't know, but as you can tell, there is nuclear fallout around Barquois. And, oh boy, I think the nuclear fallout around Cairo has completely gone away. So, I mean, it does dissipate. Kind of like, the game 60 Seconds. That one, it's basically all it is a game where you gotta live in a nuke shelter. But, come on, baby, I want to see that beautiful... Here we go with the cinematic to the moon. Here we go. Da-da-da-da-da. Bam! So it grants a one-time culture bonus of 10 times your science per turn into culture. So
there will be no borders.
Now, all I need to do is, which by the way, I probably have a ton of culture now. I do, but now I just need to take this and let's start in on a Mars project. Hydroponics. Onosaka is gonna go over here and build something else. Ooh. Habitation. 16. And Shizuoka actually doesn't need a spaceport because 2 pieces from Kyoto is 1 from Osaka. And I also wanted to really quickly take over the city of Bakwa. Unless, is that gonna take 2 turns? No, it's not. Alright, cool. The Arabians have been defeated, as we know of from our good old friend, the satellite around Earth. Alright, so that's going to be it for this episode. The next episode will be the final episode of Civilization 6. It has been a journey of acting like Hitler 24/7. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this episode of Civilization 6. If you enjoyed, tell me in the comments below. Since we are ending the cycle of this video game, go ahead and suggest games you want to see me play. That, you know, just games. I thought we already made that, but okay. But just any kind of games you want to see. Strategy games, action games, puzzle games. Puzzles, I kind of like puzzles. But subscribe if you're new because I will obviously be playing more games. If this was the end of my channel because I was just decided to finish Civilization, nah. Anyway, I'm Pacific. See you guys in the next episode. Whatever I decide to make.